Aloha guys! This is the first episode that's actually inside, which is crazy. But yeah, okay, wait. Welcome to WataWahineWorld. I think this is episode 9 or something. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed our last few episodes, and if you haven't watched those yet, I highly recommend getting some backstory, especially our first pilot episode. It's usually me, Ke'ili, and my best friend Sam, but we have been so busy and I have a project that I really wanted to do with you guys today, so it's going to be kind of a special episode. It's also a little bit different in that usually we're always outside, either in my backyard or in Palolo or like somewhere deep in the forest, but today I'm going to go through my closet with you guys. We're going into the closet. I'm going to do a deep dive and a deep clean. I'm also going to go over the impact that fashion and textiles are having on our planet, what it's made out of, why it's bad for us, as well as what we can do to mitigate our impact, to reduce our impact, and make sure that we're being conscious in how we consume, keep our impact as limited as possible, so that way we don't have to feel any guilt and know that we have done the best we can, or at least that we're, improving, and that we can feel really good about every purchase that we do make. I just have been really pissed off about my clothing situation and like my wardrobe and my closet in general. Think about all of the waste that is generated by the textile and fashion industry, especially fast fashion. And even though nowadays I don't support brands like Zara or other fast fashion brands like Forever 21, Urban Outfitters, which I definitely did at one point. I mean, when you're young and you only have so much money and you don't really know and you just want to look cute and fit in, it really does seem like the only option, honestly, to wear relevant clothes and wear stuff that makes you feel confident, which I do think is valuable. But as I get older and learn more about fashion, I just have not supported those brands. I honestly made a pact to myself, I think it was in college, to not buy any new clothes. And I kept that pact for probably like 3 years. And I really didn't notice that much of anything, but then one day on my birthday, I was just like, I'm gonna break this. And so I bought something, and of course I got an endorphin hit, you just get all of those good feelings, and the hormones hit you, and you're like, God, I miss this. But I guess I can continue my rant as I go through my closet. So today, I want to do a big purge. I have a lot of items that I love, and a lot that I like but don't wear that much, and a lot that I am, I think, more emotionally connected to than anything. I don't think I really wear them that much, but maybe I got them at a really important time in my life, or somebody gave them to me as a gift. So if you're watching this and I put one of your clothes that you got me in a bin, don't be butthurt at me. I'm not gonna throw them away. I've done a lot of purges in my closet already, and I have a pretty small closet. You guys can see half of it in the background, but still it gives me like decision fatigue in the morning when I'm trying to pick out an outfit, and it would just make life so much easier if it was right there and easy and ready for me to go, and I didn't have to think about it. I just had a few options that I could mix and match. A capsule wardrobe, one that didn't leave me feeling like I have to buy new stuff or I don't have anything to go with this, blah, blah, blah. Feelings that I get all the time. Now when I look in my closet, even though there's so much clothes, so you guys are gonna help me just like sort through what I need, what I don't really need, and I'm going to try and narrow it down to like a handful of key pieces that really feel like me, and then the rest will go in some bins, which I will go get. Hi, Hanja. I'm doing a podcast. Yeah. If you want to come say hi to the people. So I got these bins at, where did I get them? Salvation Army, and I was pretty amazed at how expensive they still were, even secondhand. I mean, they're in pretty good condition. I had to hose them off, but this one was like $6, and it's clear, which is really nice. Nice. Because if I realize I really want an item that I put away in storage, then I can easily find it. And then there was this one, which was like $3, and it's way bigger. But the other ones were like $10, you guys. I was like, what the fart? But I guess they're way more expensive if you get them at Target or something, and people are getting rid of these all the time. So always, always, always go secondhand if you can. And I'm gonna go through some like key consumer mindset things. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I love going through my closet. I feel like you always find so much stuff. I feel like we should also play music. Get us in the mood. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really nervous to do this. And I don't know where to start. And now I'm feeling really overwhelmed. Okay, maybe just start with the stuff on the racks. Because that sounds satisfying to get out of here. And it's a lot of clutter. And whenever I'm looking for like a nice outfit, I'm just looking through all my clothes and I'm like, what the hell? What the helly? I feel like I'm gonna have to leave halfway through this to go to dance class. And I'm gonna come back and be like, damn it, why did I do this? But that's okay. Oh my gosh, can you believe how much clothes I have? Like, this is crazy. Oh my God. Things are flying. Literally, my sister has this exact same dress, so why do we have two? I do not know. And what you lost. Okay, I feel like I should have a goal of like trying to narrow it down to like 5 of each thing, which seems like still a lot, but oh my God, I've never worn this before. Oh my gosh. Say a woman, say a woman. Oh, I have wetsuits in here. That's gonna be a different story. We're gonna hold on to our wetsuits because we need those. Oh my gosh. I don't even think this will fit in these bins. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go back and get the $10 bins. This is so fucked up. Okay. A lot of these clothes also, like, my sister and my boyfriend made. So we're gonna have to hold on to those. So if you did not know, a lot of, and I took notes because I wanted to like share accurate information. Okay, if you didn't know, a lot of our clothes, this is hula stuff, we need that. A lot of our clothes are made out of synthetic material. And synthetic just means that it is not organic. So it's like man-made products, like plastic. A lot of it is plastic. And you might be thinking like, what? This isn't plastic, but it is. Literally this top is probably 98% plastic because I think it's spandex. Like a lot of workout clothes are plastic, which is a big issue. It makes up 60% of global apparel purchases, synthetic fabric. So that's polyester, spandex, acrylic. If you look on the tag, like usually in the corner of your garment or like along the inseam, then you can see what it's made out of. And yeah, it's usually plastic. Oh my God, this is really cute. But I haven't worn it in so long. I'm like, is it still me? A big issue with spandex, obviously, if you know about plastic, plastic takes forever to decompose. And so I'm also gonna make a pile of stuff that I'm going to like cut up, essentially, effectively, like reuse, repurpose, make them into something completely new, be it a rag or a crop top. Anyway. So synthetics can take 80 to 800 times longer to decompose. 80 to 800 times longer to decompose compared to organics, like 100% cotton. So I recommend you look for like 100% organic cotton. I think that's right now like the most sustainable thing. There's also hemp, bamboo, and other organic material that you can look for. It's not the only factor to keep in mind though. I would also look to see if it was made sustainably, meaning how was it farmed, how was it transported, who made the garment, You know, is it made somewhere that practices common, like, workers' human rights? Like, you know, what is the condition that the garment's been made? This is a brand new dress that I've never worn, and it doesn't fit me. And it makes me sad because it's so cute. So yes, I recommend looking for 100% cotton. And honestly, that's gonna be a huge factor today about what I decide to hold on to, because not only does it affect our planet when we buy these garments, but also every time we wear them, it releases microplastics onto our skin, which is really bad for people like me who have eczema and just sensitive skin in general, because it can cause rashes, which is not cute. Like, this is 100% cotton. So I'm thinking like this is a maybe, just because it won't give me eczema outbreaks, and cotton's a lot more breathable because obviously it's like not a plastic bag around you, it's a living thing. I've also heard things like about frequencies. I don't know if you follow the Sustainable Rosalie, but she was talking about that. I don't know anything about that, but apparently different fabrics can give off frequencies that mimic, like, you know, other things that give off frequencies. Like, everything gives off a frequency. So cute. Oh my gosh, it looks like I'm wearing them. And plastic is like 0 because it's just, there's nothing going on there. And so your body doesn't really vibe with it. God, yeah, it's a real bummer because workout sets are like my favorite thing to wear. Like, I'm wearing a sports bra essentially right now, but especially when it's so hot, but it is all plastic. Like this cute little number. I love her. I wear her often, but probably not as often as I could or should. But I can't even find the tag in here. Just assume that it's mostly plastic. I'm not even like a quarter of a way through, but it's nice to see my closet empty. I hope I can make it like mostly empty. So I talked about earlier fast fashion, brands like Forever 21, Urban Outfitters, Fashion Nova, basically what a lot of people wear, and it's fast fashion. And what fast fashion is stuff that's made quickly and made cheaply, and when it's made like that, they can sell it for very cheap. It's usually not the best materials, definitely not the best materials, not the best quality, and it's not really like meant to be worn many, many times. It's not meant to be durable. It's not meant to be passed down or reused. It's meant to wear a few times because it's a trend, right? It's a fast trend. You know, things like high-waisted jeans, low-waisted jeans, tight tube tops, big flowy shirts, things that are very like in the fashion maybe style for a generation or maybe a decade, and then they disappear, they go away, or at least for a while. And so what's happening is, oh, these are nice, but they're getting too small on me. Frick, these are maybe. Fast fashion is inexpensive clothes produced rapidly by mass market retailers in response to latest trends. So like I said, Zara, Forever 21, ASOS, Uniqlo, H&M, Fashion Nova, Urban, Temu, Shein. So these are all things that are very ultra convenient. They're always like literally what you just saw that girl wear the other night that you were like, what is that top? It's so cute. And then it's on your feed and it's like $5. It's coming to my house the next day, I'm in. And then you wear it 2 times and then you realize it doesn't really fit you that well. And maybe the seam is ripping off. And so you're like, I'll just donate it. But the thing is, a lot of our clothes that we donate don't even end up getting reused. They end up going straight to the landfill, shipped off, or burnt, or incinerated. And I'll get more into that. But basically, fast fashion is made quick and cheap, sold at a low cost, encouraging disposable and throwaway culture. But it is pretty convenient, like I said. Globally, 92 million tons of textile waste are produced every year around the world. That's a lot of waste. Just to put it into context, I looked up what else was 92 million tons, and it's more than 1,300 times the weight of all the humans on Earth, assuming there's around 7 billion people on the planet. That's crazy. 13,000 times the weight of all of us we got in clothes. And that's how much is produced in waste a year. So that's crazy. Or another way to say it is 460,000 blue whales, which are the largest animals on the planet. Or 252 Empire State Buildings. So 252 Empire State Buildings, 13,000 times the weight of all the people on the Earth, or 460,000 blue whales. That's how much textile waste alone is produced every year. So I don't even want to think about all the waste. That's crazy. But that is not all. 100 billion new garments are made every year. So despite all this waste, we're still creating more garments because people will consume them. And 57% of clothes end up in the landfill when you give them away. So like I said, you donate them, give them to Goodwill. 52% of those are going straight into the landfill. Not straight into the landfill, but into the landfill eventually. About 5% of them immediately go into the landfill because of mildew or mold or something like that. Thinking about all that waste, thinking about how much we're still somehow producing is pretty nuts. It's like, where is the disconnect? Why are we doing this? Oh my God. It's because clothes are really cute, right? They make us feel good. And that's why we need a time capsule that makes us feel good forever and doesn't have to generate waste, and it doesn't depend upon trends. It's really just what we feel confident and comfortable in, no matter what everyone else is wearing or doing. So 57% of these clothes that we produce or that we give away ends up in the landfill, and it accounts for 10% of greenhouse gas emissions. And if you don't know what greenhouse gas emissions are, I wanted to break that down for you as well. So greenhouse gas emissions are, what do you call? They're basically gases that are released and then trapped in our Earth's atmosphere. So think of it like a big old blanket over the Earth. So CO2, carbon dioxide, you've probably heard of. It's probably like the main one people talk about. It's created through burning fossil fuels. So when you're driving your car around, you're releasing CO2. When you see big power plants and stuff like that, they're releasing CO2. That's what you're seeing coming out of them. And then methane. So if you've ever heard of like cow farts, how they're ruining the planet, that is methane. It's also their burps. So it's all their gases. But you can also have it released through landfills. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, greenhouse gases, but the thing is that we're releasing them much more frequently, and we're getting rid of all the things that naturally absorb them. Methane can also be produced by leaky gas pipelines. And then we also have nitrous oxide, which is caused by fertilizers and farming. And then fluorinated gases, which is created by refrigerators and ACs. So as the world gets hotter, we have to use these more and more, which is kind of just like a negative feedback loop. So we got CO2, methane, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases. These are all the main greenhouse gases. And they're basically released into the air when we're creating all these things, all these clothes, right? They're run by factories. You also need to drive cars to transport them. Sometimes you need to fly them, sometimes you need to ship them. And so all of this entire life cycle of our clothes, up until it's getting put into landfills, is generating greenhouse gas emissions. Oh, I got a little bit of an itchy nose, man. These clothes I haven't even worn, they're getting all dusty up in here. Oh my glob, it's getting hot too. So a good analogy, if you're still not really understanding what the fart greenhouse gases are, haha, methane, remember that? Is to think of a hot car with the windows up and you're sitting in it and it's hot already, it's getting kind of steamy in there, and then the sun comes out and like all these gases start forming, like the windows start fogging up and you're like, what the hell? That's kind of what's happening. We're in the car is our planet. Okay, so I thought this was pretty interesting. I was like, okay, this is like a huge impact that all of our, excuse me, excuse me, that all of the textile industry is having around the world, right? This is a big global problem, but how much is like one shirt gonna hurt, you know? Like, I just need a basic white tee to complete my look and then it's done. Well, a lot, because a singular t-shirt actually requires 2,700 liters or 713.24 gallons per one white t-shirt. So that's still a whole lot of waste going on. It also uses a lot of emissions. So the emissions from one singular shirt is going to be the same as driving your car about 35 miles on average. So it is a big impact. You know, you have to really think, is it worth it? Is it really, really worth it? Because sometimes, you know, it is worth it. And I don't want to completely make it so where you just feel like shit buying anything. But at the same time, even eco-conscious brands or sustainable brands are not the best option. The best option is literally buying nothing or making do with what you already got, what you got going on. So I just finished reading this book called 101 Ways to Go Zero Waste by Catherine Kellogg. And it was a really good book. I listened to it actually on audiobook and I found it super helpful. She has a bunch of really good tips on how to reduce, oh my gosh, you guys, the staple. This is like my uniform. She has really good tips on how to be a conscious buyer, specifically an eco-conscious buyer. And I wanted to share some of the tips that she shares with you guys. I highly recommend the book. But there's a few steps. I think there's 6. So step 1 is pause before you buy. It's really important to pause before you buy and not while you buy, not after you buy, because usually that's regret or anxiety speaking to you from the other side. So I never wear this anymore, but it's just so cute. I was in like a baby doll top era. Should I bring it back? Maybe. So step number 1 is to pause before you buy. And you can ask yourself, reflect. Think about some questions like, do I really, 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 really need this? Is it a want or is it a need? Can I borrow or maybe find it secondhand? So like, does one of my friends have something? Are they around my size? Are they maybe wanting to do a closet swap? I do closet swaps with my friends a lot. And it's really nice to get like a new feeling wardrobe, but at the same time, your favorite garments are not too far away because your friends now have them, which is awesome. And then can you get it secondhand? Can you borrow it? That's also what I do now for like events that I got going on. Like I shared with you guys in a few episodes ago that I went to Mary Monarch and that was so fun. I was really nervous because it was a very fashion forward event and I didn't have anything to wear and my friends came in clutch. They were like, girl, I got you. And that was really nice. So that's that. Always pause and reflect and ask yourself some questions such as that. And then step 2 is follow the 5 R's and in order. So if you don't know, refuse is number 1. So if somebody's trying to, you know, throw a deal down your throat, just be like, no, I refuse that. I don't want to do that. I have a choice in the matter. And my answer is no. You know, reward yourself with a sweet treat. Go bring your reusable cup and go get a cute coffee instead of buying that shirt or something like that. And then, so refuse, reduce. So reduce the amount of things that you're using or that you're buying and consuming. Okay. So refuse, reduce, reuse. So do you have shirts or dresses that you maybe want to alter? Not to buy a new thing. You can just make something new out of something you already have. Then recycle. And you can recycle items like that even into everyday items, like cut them up and use them as rags. You can even like shred up a t-shirt and make it into yarn and crochet it into like something new, like a rug. There's all kinds of DIY stuffs that you can do that gives your fabric a second life so that it doesn't just end up in the landfill contributing to all this waste. And the last one, after recycle, which should be honestly a last resort, like recycling garments, you know, there's some organizations, I'm sure, that you can like ship off your clothes and they'll recycle it, but I think very few of them actually do recycle it. It should be a last resort because recycling isn't actually the best option for really anything. Always do the other ones first. But the last option is rot. So that's why it's really good to have organic materials, is that they will be compostable. And that's really, really important if you want to not contribute to the landfill, because organic things surrounded by synthetics actually are not the best. It's not going to decompose as fast, even though it is an organic. When it is next to a synthetic, it slows down that whole process, and so it's just not worth it. So 1, we got pause before you buy. 2, follow the 5 R's. And 3, use what you already got. So repurpose, repair. If something's just got a rip in it, bust out the sewing machine or even hand stitch that bad boy and make it happen. 4, if you really got to get it, try and get it secondhand. There's really good stuff at the thrift stores nowadays. I mean, when we're busting out millions of garments every year and so much is being instantly tossed into the Goodwill bin, it's easy to assume, and it's true, that there's a lot of good stuff at the thrift store. I noticed it is getting a little pricier though, and sometimes it is like a lot to go through. I like it when they organize it by color, that's the best. And usually it's really fun to go with a friend. You can like pick out a fun outfit for each other, and even if it's not something you'd wear a lot, it's way better than just buying something new, because you're giving these clothes a second life. Who knows, they might be on the brink of going into the landfill. And so any way that you can delay that process is honestly for the best. Choose sustainable materials. I already said, you know, it's best to use organic cotton. Also good to choose things that are durable, so things that are going to last generations and generations, because that's longer and longer it will stay out of the landfill. And I think that could be good rags. And that come in compostable packaging. So just look into like the most sustainable brands, and don't just only look into the fabric and the material that it's made out of, but also look how it's being packaged, how it's being transported, how the material was farmed or dyed. Dyeing is also a huge factor of emissions and waste of our fresh, clean water, as well as water pollution. What else? And then the last step is to remind yourself that it's not about being perfect. It's not about consuming nothing. You know, at the end of the day, none of us are going to win. Like, there's just no way you can't get anything new ever. It's just about being more conscious and asking yourself questions, being inquisitive. Do I really need this? Do I want it? And trying to reduce your impact even a little bit will make a huge difference. It's not about being perfect again. It's about trying, and any effort is really commendable. So make sure to reward yourself as well. Like I said, get a little sweet treat or something like that. Just try and consume less overall. But I was going to say something else. Oh, the itchy. And then she also has a buy checklist in her book, which I found really, really helpful. So I'll just read these to you before I skedaddle. 1, can you go without it? So is it something that you can go without? I like to test myself by like just almost, or like putting it in my cart maybe, but then not getting it, going a week or so and seeing, are there multiple times throughout my day, week, month where this item would have been useful to have? Like, do I actually need it? And if not, I usually just forget about it anyway, so it's a win-win. But if I'm still thinking about it and I'm still do need it often, then maybe it is something that I need to get. The second thing that you can check, and if multiple of these are checked, then you should get the item, is basically the thing that she says. So the next thing on the checklist is, do I already have something similar or something that could be used as this? So I almost bought wicks the other day to make candles, is a good example. So I really wanted to make candles. I had beeswax already, and I was like, frick, I don't have wicks. And I was literally about to buy some on Amazon when I stumbled upon some hemp cordage that was already dipped in some sort of wax, and I just tried it, lit it on fire, and it burned somewhat like a wick. So I was like, I'll just use that and I'll just tape it to the bottom of the candle. So I did not need to buy something new. And possibly the same could be true. Can you borrow or rent it? So again, like, do I really need a brand new dress for this occasion, or would it be better to see if one of my friends has something that fits me that I could use? And is it secondhand? So is the thing that I want to buy, like a can opener maybe, I really, really need it. Can I get it at a thrift store, like a usable one? Like, definitely. These bins that I got, I could have bought them because I do need them, and I can't really borrow them, but I could get them from a thrift store. And so that's a good alternative. And is it made sustainably? So if you're thinking that you really want to get something, make sure that it is made sustainably. And when you look for sustainable packaging, sustainable branding, try and do as much research and just read reviews as you can. There are businesses that are certified in different ways, like through B corporations or 1% for the planet. There's a lot of different legit ways businesses can be sustainable, but there is a lot of greenwashing as well. And greenwashing is when basically a company poses as sustainable to appeal to our generation or to appeal to people who are climate conscious. And it's terrible, yeah, but I mean, at least people are like pretending to be eco-conscious. Like, at least it's on their radar, I guess. It's not all bad. But I'm saying, do your research, do your due diligence, and that's just another layer you can add to your onion of being an eco-conscious buyer and doing your research and not just impulse buying, right? Like, oh, they said they're sustainable, oh, and it's exactly what I need, like, I'm just gonna put it in my cart. Don't just trust that person that's posting about it or the brand itself. Definitely don't just trust an ad. Go in and do your own research, compare it to other brands, and try to make the best decision you can. Again, it's about really being sustainable, being durable, something that's going to last you and that's not going to end up in the landfill. Another thing on the checklist is it plastic free or package free? So that's a big one to do. Like, for example, when I'm buying soap, which I really want to learn how to make soap one day soon. But when I'm looking in the store for a new soap or shampoo or something like that, I try and find a bar because they're completely package free and plastic free. Generally, it's just a block of soap, and sometimes they'll even have paper bags, or you can just put it in your own little bag. And usually they're really cheap as well. So that's another option, is if you really have to get it and go to the store and buy it, try and find one that is plastic free or package free altogether. And this is the last one that I kind of threw in there, and she hints at it, but will it bring you joy? And usually if it checks off most of the things on this list, then it will bring you a lot more joy than if you had just bought it on Amazon or just bought it at Target, because it's something that you put a lot of thought into. And if you find it at a thrift store, it's usually one of a kind. If it's your friends, then it has a story, so give it a little bit more character, have a little bit more dialogue with yourself and with the item that you really want to buy. And I promise you that the next time you buy something that you really, really need and that fits a lot of these boxes, that it will bring you so much more joy, and you'll just smile every time you use it, because you'll think about all the choices that went into it. And it's just a lot more satisfying, honestly, when you have like pieces that are specific to you and that you can like relate to. But yeah, I hope this was a little helpful, hopefully not overwhelming. hopefully not as overwhelmed as I am going through this closet. But thank you guys so much for motivating me to do this. I really didn't get that much done, but I had a lot of fun diving into this topic. If you want to talk more about it, it's definitely a possibility to do another one because I need to do the other half of my closet. But yeah, let me know what you thought. I'm sorry we're not outdoors, and it's not that relaxing. There's a lot of yelling and crazy stuff going on in my neighborhood. But I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Hope this motivated you to be a little bit more conscious about things that you're buying, and maybe even clear out your closet, who knows. But I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably possibly have Sam, hopefully. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. Again, please comment. We love this to be just like an open dialogue. Do your own research on brands, on all the stuff that I talked about today. And if you have anything to add, again, please comment, reach out to us, let us know. We love talking with you guys, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Love you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, Wahines.